High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Tuesday night hoops in Suffolk County as one of the best teams in the state. Bayshore brings a ton of firepower against one of the best teams in Suffolk County over the last half decade. From Northport High School, the Bayshore Marauders take on the Northport Tigers on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and we welcome you courtside. He's Brian Reichert. I'm John Perez. Brian, this is a great one tonight. Bayshore and Northport. Let's start with Bayshore. Bayshore comes into this game a perfect 13-0. They scored a season-high 90 points in their win over Newfield. They're going to have a ton of firepower, and it starts with their backcourt in Kamari Broomfield and Carter Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, JP, it's absolutely loaded. They've been playing fantastic this season. Offense, going crazy right now. The scoring has been fantastic. Carter Wilson, absolute floor general, really doing his thing. And Broomfield, an X factor for this team, who's really stepping up his senior year. Yeah,
so those are the impact players for Bayshore. When you look at this Northport team, they don't have that undefeated resume, and it's a Northport team that, played Bayshore tough but still lost by 20 points. Having said that, though, they return a lot of firepower. They're also a team that can upset Bayshore and make them have a run for their money.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Deloya said it best. They've won 5 straight. They are very senior-lated. They got Owen Boylan, 6'4" junior, playing absolutely fantastic. Saw him in the Alzheimer's game, really stepping up this season, scoring a ton of points, a lot of rebounds, can play inside and out, doing a fantastic job. JoJo Cipollino, a senior guard, stepping up. Northport always has a Tiger ready to step up, and JoJo Cipollino really filling in, averaging 13 points a game.
So there you see the Tigers and their backcourt. They've got 8 seniors and a lot of leadership as they look to hand Bayshore their first loss of the year. And if Northport is going to win this game, what are they going to have to do to get there today, Brian?
Yeah, I would say that my keys to the game is they're really going to have to slow down Bayshore. They're going to have to, go possession by possession, especially early on. Northport likes to play with the lead. That's what Coach Deloya does. And, you really got to make them defend. Like I said, they're going to kill some clock, spread it around, make sure that Bayshore is working really hard on that defensive end. And the last thing, JP, they got to rebound. And they cannot allow Bayshore's athleticism to just feed off of some of their shots. They have got to rebound and box out.
If Bayshore wants to keep that goose egg and the good times rolling, what do they have to do?
Listen, they got to play loose. They got to play their style. They got to get up and down. They got to have the pace. And another thing is they got to make some threes. They like to shoot them a lot. A guy like Tay Bumpers has been shooting a ton, and he's got to make them. And another thing is they have to take care of that rock, JP. No turnovers. Try and clean up the sloppy play. Couple times I've seen them, they've gotten a little sloppy. So that's a key that I know Coach Parham's really focusing on for those guys.
It should be a fun one. It's Bayshore, it's Northport. We're under the lights here in a cozy Northport gymnasium. And it's all coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. We welcome you back to Northport High School. We've got a really good matchup here tonight. The Bayshore Marauders come in at a perfect 13-0, 9-0 in conference play against a Northport team that has a 64-43 win in their pocket over Connecticut last week. They're on a 5-game winning streak, and let's meet the starting lineups. First for the visiting Marauders, they'll be led by 3 transfers in there, as well as it is Carter Wilson, along with Tayshawn Bumpers, Kamari Bloomfield, Christian Smiley, and Niall Hoffney. A ton of firepower coming out for the Marauders, Brian. Yeah, just an absolutely loaded starting 5. I mean, arguably one of the best in Long Island. Super deep, a lot of talent, a lot of college coaches looking at these guys for sure. And they've been very impressive so far this season. I can't wait to see them on the court. I can't wait to see how Northport goes against them, too, as Northport comes in 9-4 overall, 7-2, a 5-game winning streak. Let's meet the starters for the Tigers as they're introduced here in their home court, and this is a team that is coming off a 21-point victory, and they're starting 5. We mentioned Cipollino in the open. Quinn Reynolds, a 3-sport athlete, fantastic lacrosse player. Owen Boylan, along with Will Meyer and Brendan Fenlon. 2 different contrasting styles. Bayshore has a ton of point guards, whereas North Shore, they can slow it down and shoot the 3. Yeah, absolutely. They got guys who can hit 3s. They got size. You know, they're going to spread the ball around. They're going to set screens. They're going to try and get open. And you see that starting 5, you know, 4 seniors. Coach Lloyd said it in the pregame. You know, he's got seniors and they're all in, and he's got a bunch of them. And there you see Brendan Fenlon and the last guy there, Will Meyer. And how about the evolution of Will Meyer over his last few games? He's a senior that's really starting to come into his own. A 3-year varsity starter, but putting it all together in his senior campaign. Yeah, really doing a good job and stepping up for the Tigers this season, especially inside. Got the national anthem coming up, but we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got basketball here on a Tuesday night in Suffolk County. It's Northport, it's Bayshore, it's the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network. Did you just have the best athletic year of your life, and now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network. Did you just have the best athletic year of your life, and now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Great playing of the national anthem as Bayshore looks to keep their perfect season alive. They come in at 13-0, 9-0 in conference play, and Northport, one of the top teams in the county, if not Long Island, trying to knock them off. And there is Kenny Parham, the 1987 graduate from Bayshore, been around the block. And, we spoke to him earlier this week, Brian, and I asked him, what do you like about this team? What are all causes of concerns? He says, I'm even keel. You're going to have to pull information out of me. Nothing changes, and kind of hard, but it goes to show the personality of Coach Parham. He doesn't get too high, too low, and yeah, they might be undefeated, but it doesn't matter for him.
Yeah, he's almost a steady influence on this team. Like you said, never high, never too low. Known Coach Parham a long time. It's funny, when I first started out as a freshman coach, Coach Parham used to have my freshman boys go against these guys, go against his varsity girls squad. And, it was so great to go against him, learned a ton of stuff from Coach Parham. And you're right, he's that leader, he's that general, and he'll make sure Bayshore is getting in good possessions tonight.
Christian Smiley to take the opening tip with Owen Boylan, and Bayshore wins the opening tip. And there is Carter Wilson, the 6'1 junior and leading scorer for the team. He'll bring it up the floor. You should expect a lot of Wilson tonight, one of the best point guard prospects that you have on your list, Brian, and we'll talk more about him, and we'll talk about this guy as well. Christian Smiley, the ankle breaker,
wow.
And that gets the Marauders on the board.
Wow, Christian Smiley with a beautiful drop-off. Dropped off a Tiger and gave off a two to the big man. What a move.
Unfortunately for Bayshore, that only counts for 2 points.
Yeah,
but I'm sure that'll be on highlight reels around the Twitter sphere.
Oh, yeah, the cameraman definitely caught that one, JP.
To the cup the other way, and the answer back, and that's Will Meyer. 6'5 senior, had a dozen points Saturday afternoon against Connecticut. He's been consistent in this 5-game winning streak. Long shot off the mark, 3-ball, as Tayshawn Bumpers, Central Islip transfer. There's somebody that Bayshore wants to get involved too, and when he's knocking his shot from downtown, there's nobody better. Yeah,
they're almost unstoppable when Bumpers gets going. I've seen his development over the past 2 years, and he's really stepped up his play, and he's become very unselfish, as you can see right there with the pass to the big for another 2. Really doing a good job as a facilitator this year.
That's Niall Hoffney. He's 6'7". He's only a sophomore. I'm not a doctor, but you're approaching 7-foot territory at that age in wingspan.
Yeah, and you could see, he looks like he's still going to grow a little bit. May need more hair on his legs over the next 2 years. He may grow.
Unbelievable. I'm only 5'11" on a good day. To be 6'7" at 14 is
I would kill for a couple inches, JP. I'm with you there.
Runner doesn't go off the tin. That was Broomfield trying to get in the action. And Broomfield, one of those seniors as well, as Coach Parham for Bayshore says we play positionless basketball. In Northport, a little bit more defined, but they have their own unique roster buildup. They've got 8 seniors. They're all captains. Very unique for a Northport team. Corner 3, off the mark, and that doesn't fall. for Brendan Fenley.
Good rebound by Wilson, setting the pace. Great pass underneath for Smiley. Just couldn't finish, got fouled, heading to the line.
And Christian Smiley, the transfer from Amityville, averaging 14.5 points a game over his last 4 games. And we talked about this off air, Brian, but Smiley's a guy that Bayshore wants to get going early.
Absolutely. He's their go-to guy. He's one of the best prospects on Long Island. He's a multi-time All-Long Island player, and, he's ready to step up this senior year. He's really focused. He's taking his game to the next level, and, just to see him make that first free throw, he's laser locked in just from the tip.
Someone who Coach Parm says can play the 4 or the 5, and certainly one of the taller players on the floor. But when you've got Hoffney in the front court as well, that's a good dynamic duo.
It's nice. They allow him to kind of float around a little bit because, he's a guy who can hit threes and, can create off the dribble. As you saw, he dropped one of the Tigers already. As Cipollino goes in, ooh. Can't finish, but definitely got fouled hard on that. Headed to the line.
And that's one thing that Coach Andrew DeLoya said for Cipollino is he's really attacking the basket with an aggressiveness and a fire that we didn't see a year ago, and that's been an integral part to Northport's success this year as he misses the first free throw.
Yeah, if you go over this Northport, we're talking about this Northport Tiger history, and, there's no more Nick Watts, there's no Lucas Jarrett, there's no Pat Healy, So who's going to step up? Guy like JoJo Cipollino, not being a shooter, being more than a shooter, attacking this year, get into the line as he makes one.
He led the way with 18 points in the win over Connecticut Saturday afternoon. But it was really what didn't show up in the box score that DeLoya said was a big reason for their win. Reverse layup, good in the foul. What a move. And that's Kamari Broomfield. He'll go to the line for 3 the old-fashioned way.
What an athlete, JP. I mean, just such a good slasher. So way more aggressive this year. Doing a really good job.
I'm going to take another look. What do you see here, Bri?
Yeah, I mean, just beats his guy to the spot, gets his body into the big, attacks the angle, and finishes strong. I mean, a beautiful finish.
And completes 3.
And you'll see, JP, they're up. They're up. Bayshore wants to apply pressure. They want this game to be fast. They don't want Northport in the half court. They want these guys to try and break a press.
9-3 run to start the game for Bayshore on the road as Sean Cogan comes in along with Liam Seavey for the Tigers.
And here they go. They're going to run their offense. A lot of picks, a lot of moving. They're going to look to get a good matchup that they want. It's all about communication, staying disciplined on defense here. Boylan with a shot.
Oh, and Boylan nails the 3, and that cuts the deficit. 2-3 itself, and one of your keys, if Northport makes their 3, they're going to keep it close as Wilson is fouled on the floor.
Yeah, Boylan has a beautiful inside game. Saw him in the Alzheimer's Classic. Was telling JP before the game, looking for a strong season, and he has delivered for the Tigers with a beautiful 3 as Carter Wilson picks up another foul against the Tigers. Inbound underneath.
It's a Bayshore team that won 17 games a year ago, and at least to meet that quota, they just have to win their next 4 games, which is certainly feasible when you've got Wilson, but he misses the runner.
Tough take going into traffic. Probably might have been a better kick out there, but, aggressive take. Let's see if they can get a stop.
Cipollino weaves, goes to the basket, and I'll say it was last touched by Northport, and the Marauders take over.
Yeah, we got to be ready. That's a great move by Cipollino. The big flash. Got to have those hands ready. Can't be in your pocket, JP.
These two teams met earlier in December as Bumpers spots up from 3, grazes the rim, and Northport takes over. And the one positive for Northport was that, yes, Bayshore did win. However, it was the lowest points in a game that they've scored this season, just 54. The only issue is Northport scored 33.
Yeah, and that's the problem. When you limit possessions, as Northport does, it'll definitely give you a lower number. But if you're not productive on the offensive end, game can get away from you quick, and it's tough to play catch-up with their offense because it takes time.
Here's Cipollino on.
Already down to 5.
4 to shoot. Here's Cipollino. Drives inside.
Oh, travel
and called
call.
for travel.
Bayshore got away with a little contact there, but definitely travel.
A little more than halfway home in the first quarter. As Bayshore got off to a quick 9-3 lead, but still hasn't been able to find the shot. That's off the heel by Broomfield.
Good hustle by Cipollino.
Goes right into the hands of Bayshore, and there's Smiley underneath, and Smiley with the second hoop of the quarter. Outlet it up ahead, and Boylan the other way puts it in.
See, if Northport can keep getting baskets like that, they are going to hang in this game. They'll take all the free points they could allow. Coach Parham definitely not happy with that easy bucket.
Boylan, sixth floor, can run the floor very well. Not one of those ball stoppers that you see out of prototypical forwards. How about Wilson? Can't curl it in. Hoffney tries the rebound, takes on a couple of defenders, throws up a wild shot, and Kogan recovers. The lids have closed for Bayshore on that end of the floor.
Yeah, a couple of wild shots, I think they just got to take their time and find some better shots because they can get that kind of attack anytime.
Quinn Reynolds back into the ball game, gets stuffed and flips it to the wing. Cipollino with some space, takes on Hoffney, attacks the basket, denied. Wilson stays with Northport. The pull-up.
Tough shot. Good rebound. Cipollino is being aggressive, JP, which I do like. See, I like bumpers way more on the catch and shoot, JP.
Yeah, I think Bayshore likes it as well as he cans a three and the lead back up to 6.
Oh, yeah.
This matches the largest lead of the quarter for Bayshore.
Bayshore switching a lot of things up top on the screens.
Fenlon will let it rain. Not that time. Wilson.
Here they go. Ooh.
Nice spin move. Wilson.
Oh, what
and
a
he
finish.
goes coast to coast. Carter Wilson showing off the athletic ability.
Wow, major finish. Coast to coast. Beautifully done. Steal by bumpers.
And then taken right back. It's a battle for possession. Kogan underneath. And resiliently he scores.
The whole Northport bench is up for that one. They loved it.
Kogan, a 6'2 junior, getting some playing time for Northport pretty early in the ball game, and someone who's done a lot of good things well as Broomfield knocks in the jumper.
We have him as our pregame player, and, man, is he ready for the moment, stepping up. I mean, that's a high-level shot. Very difficult, and then he knocked it down. Made it look easy, JP.
And Brian, as a coach, I don't think I have to mention the importance of setting the tone early, especially on the road, and Bayshore's done that.
Absolutely. You can't let the nerves get. You got to settle in. You got to lean on your older guys. You can't let the nerves get to you, and you just got to play basketball because that's what it's all about.
Cipollino catch and shoot. The answer back.
Cipollino, man, that contact fired him up. I love it. Big three. Not afraid of the moment. Stepping up and taking on these guards. 40 seconds remaining.
And it's Carter Wilson. Take the air out of the ball. 13-second differential between game and shot clock. As here's Broomfield. Jumps underneath and scoops it in.
Tons of acrobatic finishes for this kid. It's just what I've seen all year from him. Very consistent scoring option for them all season. It's been a pleasant surprise. I've really enjoyed him this year.
Shot clock turned off. 15 seconds to play opening quarter. It's been all Bayshore. As Cipollino tries to give Northport momentum going into the second quarter. Lets it fly. Not that time.
Great hustle.
To the basket, Fenlon denied. 3 seconds, gets the hoop. Clock winding down. Here's Broomfield. Good if it goes. Ooh. Short. Probably the only shot that Broomfield's missed in a very positive first quarter. And at the end of 8 minutes, it's Bayshore with a 20-15 lead over Northport on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
Looking to grow your business on social media? Let Varsity Media help you. With over 50,000 followers across our platform, sponsor a segment during the broadcast and share it on social media the next day. It's the best of both worlds as you'll get thousands of plays and your ad will live on the broadcast forever. Contact us today for sponsorship packages by calling 917-470-0864 or emailing varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com. It is a raucous gymnasium here at Northport as we get ready for the start of the second quarter. Bayshore with a 20-15 lead, and the students have come out in full force. And JoJo Cipollino leading the crew for Northport. And there's their head coach in there, Andrew DeLoya, in his 12th season for Northport. And year after year, Brian, when you look at the top of the standings and county finals and championships, you can't go far without seeing Northport's name there.
No, Coach DeLoya has done a fantastic job here. Every year they're competitive. He builds a program. He builds it, from top to bottom. His younger level teams are always competitive, always willing to play everybody, and they've done a really good job.
That's going to be a walk as Bayshore wanted the charge, and a sigh of relief for Northport as Fenlon just called for happy feet.
Yeah, almost relieved that wasn't a foul on Fenlon. Almost will take the travel there. Here comes the play that Bayshore has run quite a bit this season and had success. Let's see if Northport will let him play it.
Well, Kamari Broomfield, we mentioned him in the open, one of the top players to watch. That's that other guy, and that's Carter Wilson, knocks in the jumper from the elbow.
Beautiful play call by Parham there to get Wilson a little free jump shot off the pick from the big man. Well done. Wilson for 2.
I mean, I don't know what the opposite of pick your poison is. Probably an embarrassment of riches for guards that Coach Penny Parham has for Bayshore, and we've been seeing that on full display with Wilson and Broomfield.
Yeah, that's how they get to so many points, JP. They really spread it around. This team is unselfish. And, Wilson's a great facilitator and makes sure all his guys get touches, which I like to see.
Here's Liam Seavey, normally a starter, but because of the matchup against Bayshore, comes off the bench. But he'll get starters minutes. Outlet snapped up ahead. Here's Bumpers to the cup and lays it in. And, oh, yeah, there's Bumpers, too. We mentioned those 2 other guards.
Yeah, it's like you said it perfect. It's an embarrassment of riches. And, Coach Parham has these guys competing. I mean, all these guys are playing way better defensively than I've seen them in their younger years. So, shout out to Coach Parham.
Northport needs a 3. That won't fall as Boylan off the mark.
And Smiley just, quietly collects rebounds, John. Quietly fills the stat sheets, blocks, steals, assists, rebounds. Does a lot of things.
And that's what championship teams need. And for Bayshore, with aspirations to win an LIC for the first time since 1981, they're going to need guys to do that. And another guy that has been filling those unsung stats in the stat sheet, it's Isaiah Dewberry, who came on wearing number 11 for Bayshore. Yeah,
he's been a big-time defender for them, taking on a lot of responsibility on the defensive end. And, could give them a little scoring punch here and there with his athleticism.
Wilson lets it fly, can't connect. And boy, there's been no easy rebounds for Northport so far as Duke Sarnarato can't corral it.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about. Rebounding is going to be a problem, and it's not really the size. Northport has size, they got strength. It's just the athleticism, the travel there. Tough spot to put your big man in on the move there, and to see Carter Wilson tap his chest saying that's my bad. You like that. You like to see that. As you see, 11 already up, full court pressing.
Cipollino in the driver's seat. And here's Owen Boylan, the handoff to Seavey. Quick 4-0 spurt for Bayshore as the 3 knocked in.
Shot.
Boylan, another one of those guys that when he's in a rhythm, there's nobody better for Northport.
And he's got a beautiful looking stroke, doesn't he, JP? I mean, very smooth, very centered, feet are set.
That's a good shot for Dewberry, just didn't fall. And now Boylan with his team trailing by 6.
A little too much. You can see Coach DeLoya upset with that turnover from his joint. Ooh, got away with the carry there.
Seavey stays with it.
Look at this move. Oh.
Well, Seavey trying to turn something out of nothing. In fact, almost turned it over. And he'll have a chance to put some points on the board. We'll take another look.
Yeah, I mean, Seavey just cutting through the defense. Almost lost it here. Nice spin move. Sees he's got the big guy. It makes a nice move. Takes the contact. Would have been nice to finish there, but heading to the line.
And the southpaw hits the first one.
Yeah, like you said, normally a starter, normally a guy who's moving the ball, making sure guys like Boyle and Cipollino are getting good shots and one of their primary ball handlers. So nice to see him in quick off the bench.
And how about Seavey? Andrew DeLoya says he's been the MVP of the weight room, just doubling his weight over the last year and a half. And has really allowed him to play meaningful minutes for Northport. Dewberry off on a 3.
CV on the break, open on the other side. Cipollino taking it. Charge.
And how about Smiley setting his feet?
Just such a high Q player there, JP. You know, that's such a momentum killer for Northport right there.
Jonathan Boyacki also on the floor for Bayshore. He came on at the last
Northport in a bit of a matchup zone here.
And Smiley can't knock down the jumper. The tap doesn't fall.
Oh.
Dewberry, not that time.
Can't grab the loose ball here. And Bayshore ball again. Bayshore missing a couple easy putbacks there, John. I'm surprised. Been a little sloppy around the glass.
I don't want to count out the wingspan of Northport either. Certainly not making it easy as Broomfield, air ball. They'll say it's a pass. Wilson finds its way down low. Not that time.
Smiley
the tap back
cleans
falls
it
in for Smiley.
Northport really could use a bucket here, JP.
Well, Boylan's been the hot hand so far. As CV tries to drive baseline and is walled off by Bioki. CV thought about it. Drives inside, loses the handle. And another cough up for Northport.
Just kind of forcing it a little bit. Yeah, good timeout by Coach DeLoya.
Coach DeLoya will call a timeout, and we could just talk about Bayshore and what they've been building over the last 4 years as well. And you see 17 wins a year ago, Suffolk AA runner-up. But this had been brewing since the pandemic, and Kenny Parham, a big reason for that success, and the 3 transfers coming in as well.
Yeah, you know, they had a solid foundation going into this year. They were going to be, you know, one of the better teams for sure in Suffolk. And just to add that amount of talent to the roster, you know, multiple college-level talent, JP, is just, you know, huge, especially in Long Island and in Suffolk especially. It's just a game changer, and that's why you're seeing the success.
And so there is the huddle for Bayshore, and Kenny Parham in the middle of it, and he himself a very good player back in the day, obviously still has the size, and trying to cultivate his roster to his liking, and says he actually loves the 3-guard set and loves to have them run up and down the floor, and big reason why they're undefeated this year, 13-0.
Yeah, you could see his college experience, you know, kind of taking what his roster has and kind of changing up his offense, because this is definitely a different look than they had last year.
Wilson snaps it to the corner. Dewberry for 3, in and out. Bioki tries to grab the offensive rebound, and it'll be Northport ball.
So you can see, JP, they're kind of making the strategy. You know, Coach DeLoya is saying, you know what? I'm going to make some other guys shoot some corner threes, some tough threes, and that's how you're going to try and beat us without Wilson and Smiley kind of getting the ball, get some other guys touching the ball.
Yeah, just in that corner, I only remember Broomfield hitting the 3. That was really it. Nice pass underneath, and the reward as the bucket goes for Boylan.
Boylan, again, just a solid option for the Tigers. I hope they keep featuring him. I'd love to see a little 2-man game with him and JoJo.
Smiley double-teamed. And now Wilson. The pull-up inside the arc. No good.
Tough shot.
Finds its way right into the hands of Broomfield. He can't finish. And Northport takes over. Starting to feel the pendulum swing in Northport's favor. What have you seen defensively the last 2 or 3 Bayshore trips down the floor?
Yeah, you know, are you talking about what Bayshore has been doing defensively?
No, how Northport has been stopping Bayshore.
Yeah, they've been making Bayshore, you know, take some tough threes, which is good. And like I said, almost the, you know, Bill Belichick thing, make your C and D guys try and beat us.
And also do your job, and Cipollino's job is to get to the rack.
Yeah, he's been aggressive, man. I love this. I hope he plays like this the rest of the game and the rest of the season because, you know, he came in with a reputation, a little bit of a shooter, but I love to see it.
A guy that the coaching staff describes as just as tough as nails, and he'll take a charge. He's a threat from 3-point range, and trying to get him more involved in the outside game. You see his aggressiveness attacking the basket, but when he's hitting his threes, that's what DeLoya says is his upside and what makes him a complete player.
Yeah, and you got to make that adjustment, JP. You know, as you start to become a player known in the league, guys just aren't going to let you sit in a 2-3 and shoot the three. So it's good to see that, you know, he's taking that shot and kind of used it to attack the basket.
Wilson, the dump underneath, deflected. And it'll stay with Bayshore, 15 to shoot.
Yeah, active hands by Cipollino on the defensive end, too. Nice tip by him there on that entry pass. Bayshore could use a bucket, JP.
Wilson to trigger. Nice
Easy.
find underneath, and there's your hoop. Christian Smiley, and Bayshore calls a quick timeout.
And that's just a veteran play call by Coach Parham there. You know, beautifully done, easy hoop, kind of catching them sleeping. And, you know, that's a play Northport runs too, you know, that Coach DeLoya will focus on and kind of steal an easy bucket there.
Take us through these X's and O's. I think it's pretty simple. Get it to one of your best players underneath.
Yeah, you know, Boylan's got to be ready. You know, Carter Wilson's got a phenomenal IQ, and he's going to make you pay if you're sleeping.
Well, we talk about Bayshore over the last 4 years. I mean, Northport, a couple 20-win seasons in there, a championship, even though it was a shortened year. One of the classes of Suffolk County.
Yeah, I mean, that's a phenomenal 4-year stretch. Even with the pandemic, he sent multiple kids to the college level, and you know these kids come back, and that's what it's all about. You know, they love Coach DeLoya, the program, and you know the Tigers are always up there for a reason, and they should be again this year.
Northport trying to extend their winning streak to 6 games. They trail by 5 and have been teetering around a one-possession game. Got some stops defensively, but whenever you felt the momentum was going in the Tigers' side, Bayshore had an answer.
Yeah, but if you told me it's a 5-point game with 2:30 to go in the second quarter, I know Coach would sign up for that in a heartbeat.
That hold will be against Smiley. As for Smiley, that's his first. And the team's 4th. Pretty clean officiated game so far. It's John Cooley and Steve Pacciarelli in the Zebras. Reynolds the bouncer, Fenlon. Matched up with Bioki, fall away, jumper, no good. And one and done go the Tigers. With some space, bumpers, denied. And a whack underneath, that'll be on Boylan.
Let's see what kind of inbound Bayshore have here. Be really bad to pick up a double foul here and send somebody to the line, JP.
Yeah, no more fouls to give for Bayshore, and that time it goes into Smiley, who starts it off to Wilson.
Swing back.
Wilson lets it go. And tapped back out. Here's Cipollino. Taking on 2 defenders, reverse layup, that's good.
Man, absolutely fearless take, JP. I mean, this kid is feeling it tonight. I love it. This is his moment right now, and he wants it.
Final 100 seconds to play in the first half. Bayshore looking for another response. Broomfield to Wilson. Smiley catch and shoot, yes sir.
That's a beautiful adjustment by Wilson there. Turned down the corner 3, saw Smiley on the elbow, hit him for a quick 2.
Lead goes back up to 5 as Ceedy's in the driver's seat. Boylan calling for the screen. And eventually gets it.
Smiley playing terrific defense up top.
Boylan tees up a 3, connects!
And he looks in the crowd and screams, "Come on, JP." 2-point game.
Here's Wilson as Northport has Bayshore against the ropes.
And the chance began, JP.
Wilson fakes the pass, drives inside, and the foul.
Yeah, that's Carter Wilson just being aggressive and saying, I'm getting to the line or getting the bucket no matter what.
Take another look at the foul.
Coach DeLoya not happy, JP.
And check that. We'll check it in a second, but either way, here's Wilson to the line, and Carter Wilson, there's many on Long Island saying that he is a Division I player. You, a prognosticator, your thoughts on his upside?
I think he has terrific upside, especially as a passer. He's really developed. Like I said, he's playing off his IQ. You almost see when he plays like a quarterback, very smart as a, game manager, and he's been making his free throws, playing better defense, and just a better overall prospect than he was last season.
Gives his team a 4-point edge as Reynolds quickly gets it into Seavey.
It's a big 40 seconds here. Big possession here for the Tigers.
Boylan looks for another one. Can't cash it in, goes off the top of the backboard, and a turnover. Good look by Boylan as Bayshore can hold for the final shot.
And you got to love the crowd screaming, keep shooting, because they're right. I mean, that looked like it was going in too.
Kamari Broomfield was a star in the first quarter. Since then, Bayshore's pieced it together. The drive on the inside, it goes for Corey Faines. Faines only a sophomore. And now Northport trailing by 6 and 15 seconds to go.
Yeah, subbed in for Wilson in a big bucket. I mean, nice finish. Thought they maybe kill some clock.
Boylan to the cup is fouled. And a chance to shoot 2.
And JP, if you notice, their two guys are really starting to take over. The two guys we talked about and the two guys we focused on, really starting to take over offensively, being really aggressive.
So here's Owen Boylan, knocked down a couple of threes and hits the first one. And now Northport will get Cipollino to the bench and bring on Joey Pavanelli, the 5'10 sophomore. Boylan hits them both. Goes straight to the bench.
Another Tiger sub.
6 seconds to go. Into the front court. It's Broomfield. Broomfield. Floater. Not that time. And the shot blocked and a foul.
Looked like a foul, JP. I saw a late second whistle. Was it Smiley who got fouled?
Smiley underneath. And so the officials do not have the monitor, so there's no time on the clock. And Christian Smiley to give his team a bigger lead going into the half.
And you could see Coach Deloya talking to Pavanelli, the sophomore. You can't let him beat you that fast. And if you do, you have the foul, JP. You can't let him get all the way up court like that.
Boy, Christian Smiley, an impressive first half. So is Bayshore. They've been as good as advertised. And they'll take a 36-30 lead into the half. It's been a fun one. It's Bayshore. It's Northport. You're watching Tuesday Night Hoops on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus, here's the best part. Your ad lives forever on our YouTube page. And with a large on-demand audience, it's a grand slam to advertise with Varsity Media. Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable, and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Looking to grow your business on social media? Let Varsity Media help you. With over 50,000 followers across our platform, sponsor a segment during the broadcast and share it on social media the next day. It's the best of both worlds, as you'll get thousands of plays and your ad will live on the broadcast forever. Contact us today for sponsorship packages by calling 917-470-0864 or emailing varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus, here's the best part. Your ad lives forever on our YouTube page. And with a large on-demand audience, it's a grand slam to advertise with Varsity Media. Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. It's halftime here in Northport. We've got a good one. Bayshore, the top public school in Suffolk County, and undefeated, leads Northport 36-30. Alongside Brian Reichert, I'm John Perez, and we've got a fun schedule coming up on the Varsity Media Sports Network. This Sunday, St. Peter's takes on St. Francis Prep in Queens. And how about some Long Island action? Farmingdale at Port Washington, and then the Long Island Catholic School, St. Dominic at St. John the Baptist, Chaminade Holy Trinity. That's the appetizer to Lehigh, Mount Verde. Cooper Flagg just named to an All-American team. Danny Carbuccia, his teammate, Boogie Flan, also on that McDonald's All-American team. St. John the Baptist and Chaminade. And then, of course, in the middle there was St. Francis Prep and St. Raymond. And I am knocking on wood. There might be one more New York City game in there. Stay tuned for the announcement. But if you would like to book a sportscast, let Varsity Media broadcast your big game. Great for rivalry games, homecoming, senior day, and the playoffs. Just email varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com. Give us a call, 917-470-0864. You mention this ad, and you get 25% off of your sportscast. Well, Brian, it was a fun first half led by Christian Smiley and the Bayshore Marauders. He leads the way for Bayshore with 12 points, and he's just so fluid and so good for Bayshore, and a big reason why they have the 6-point lead.
Yeah, he's been smooth so far, very, very efficient. Not having his number called a ton, but just making plays for Bayshore, keeping them ahead. And, the Tigers are right where they want to be, JP.
Meanwhile, for Northport, they've been led by Owen Boylan, who has been all aces for them, knocking down 3 threes. And there you see Boylan in the far corner. And Boylan, just a sweet stroke and a big reason why Northport is hanging around in this game.
Yeah, he's really stepped up. He's done a really nice job, made a ton of threes, helped them inside and out, and he's rebounded a ton.
Here's Kamari Broomfield, 7 points in the first half. Off the mark, and Smiley denied by Boylan.
Big block.
Cipollino, a fight for the loose ball with Broomfield. It'll be Marauder ball.
Heads-up play there by Broomfield to get out of the way. Cipollino, a little out of control on that break. What a block by Boylan, huh, JP?
He's been so impressive, and it doesn't do it justice on the monitor, the wingspan that he's got. Really does a good job of taking down the passing lanes as well. Little tic-tac-toe action, almost goes in. And a whistle and a tug underneath. It should go against Smiley, it does.
And you brought up a great point, JP, which was phenomenal that you talked about it with Coach Aloya. That really is talked about a lot in the sport of basketball. These kids have been hitting the weight room, man. These guys look great. I mean, a lot of these kids look tough, and these kids have really put on some muscle. I mean, Owen Boylan is pretty jacked up.
Owen Boylan's done a good job, the Fitzpatrick brothers, and of course their weight room MVP, and that's Liam Seavey. But, Brian, obviously at St. Anthony's and around different high schools, how infectious is it when you've got multiple sport athletes that have won titles in other sports, bringing it to maybe their second and third sports?
It's absolutely tremendous, JP. It's a huge thing going on in Long Island basketball, and really Long Island sports in general. Like, if you can't get kids to play multiple sports, you're in trouble. I mean, there's not a lot of depth at a lot of these schools, and you see these guys playing multiple sports, and they really are effective at and you hear these things like I only specialize in basketball. I disagree. Play as many sports as you can.
How about Fenlon with a nice Euro step? And the bucket for him as Fenlon was held scoreless in the first half. And a quick timeout taken. And, we talk about this game and its implications. And, of course, Bayshore wants to continue to stay undefeated. But in terms of the standings, let's take a look here. And a lot of room at the top. It's a very good Comac team in North Babylon. This has been a fun league, too, so far.
Yeah, scrappy bunch. I mean, Comac, a tough group, like you said. Northport's grinded their way back up. North Babylon's no joke. Coach Rock does a good job over there. And, you see Bayshore up top at 9-0, really handling business so far, JP.
Bayshore looking to go 10-0 in league play, 14-0. What a start that would be, as Bayshore continuing to run roughshod through the rest of the league. And, to keep this undefeated schedule up for Bayshore, this is what they're going to have in front of them. And you know the league very well, Brian. What are some of the challenges that Bayshore has to face?
Yeah, they are going to have a tough game, playing the number 2 seed in Comac, especially at Comac. Always a good environment, tough squad, beat a Chaminade team that I didn't think they were capable of. And, even though they disappointed a little bit when I watched them last time, they could give Bayshore a tough game. And watch out for that at North Babylon in early February, JP. That could be a thing that they kind of overlook heading into the playoffs.
You know what else is overlooked? That North Babylon student section. They really come out in full force, and could imagine what the pressure would be like, right? Towards that calendar turning to February and trying to keep an undefeated streak around, but title hopes in foresight as Wilson off on the runner. Loose ball, stays with Bayshore, to the rim, it's Broomfield. No sir, but a foul.
And that's a great debate, JP. Sometimes, especially as a coach, you almost want that loss before you head into, the playoffs. The pressure's just going to keep ramping up. It'll be interesting to see as it gets tighter and tighter for these Bayshore guys if they can handle it. But they got to make sure they take care of these Tigers first.
I've always found that an interesting debate of, do you want to go undefeated into the playoffs as opposed to not tanking, but not, claiming that it's the end of the world if you receive that loss? And I think it's just magnified in terms of the pressure, especially for the age of these student athletes. Smiley gets the offensive rebound, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Crowd not happy, but he got absolutely killed, JP. I mean, that was a good foul call. And, like we talked about, they got to get to the rebounds. They're letting Smiley get too many tips, too many loose balls.
That foul's on Will Meyer. That's his third. That's a big foul, Brian.
Yeah, a monster foul, losing a lot of size, a lot of toughness, and a guy who's moving bodies.
Smiley connects on the first one, and Northport will have to go to its bench as Sean Cogan comes back on. Cogan provided some good energy defensively, had 2 points in the first half.
Yeah, that's a great point, JP. He was definitely a nice little spark off the bench.
Smiley, a perfect 2 for 2.
And, I'll tell you a quick story, JP. When I coached, it really depends on your roster, how the roster looks, how the league looks. But there was a time where I knew I might not have had the best group, and against the number 1 seed, I may not have thrown all my cards out there, JP. I may have, sandbagged a little bit for thinking about the greater picture. So it's a great debate to have as a coach, depending on your team.
Carry called against Cipollino. No, that's true. Now, for Northport, this is the second time in what they hope was 3 times against Bayshore. But you're right, maybe not want to leave too much out there.
Yeah, especially your plays, you don't want to show everything. Especially because we know Bayshore is so desperate to keep the winning streak alive.
Wilson with some space. Can't splash it in. The follow, not that time by Broomfield. But it stays with Bayshore. How about the job that they've done on the offensive glass? The Smiley throws up the runner, no good. Wilson again, not that time. Stays with Bayshore, and finally Northport able to rip it free for a millisecond. and it'll be Bayshore possession. Quinn Reynolds couldn't hold on.
Absolutely brutal there. You know, to work that hard, get the rebound, get it to a guard, and it somehow slips out. Bayshore just getting to every loose ball right now.
Catch and shoot, corner three, bumpers, not that time. Hoffney keeps it alive, and Wilson picks up the loose change. Smiley throws it up and puts it in. You can't give Bayshore 9 opportunities down the floor.
No, absolutely not. They're too good a team. They're going to finish, you know.
There's Kogan matched up with Smiley. Largest lead of the second half for Bayshore. They're up 10. Fenlon gets his own miss and cleans it up.
Yeah, I like the no call there, John. I thought that might have been a little bit of a flop there by the big guy. And nice finish by number 21.
Fenlon with his first bucket of the game. Smiley directs traffic. 14 points today. Here's Wilson, the hezzy. Drives inside. Can't scoop it in.
Yeah, just, you know, like we talked about in our pregame, you know, they get sometimes sloppy in these situations, especially finishing around the basket. They got to clean it up if they want to maximize, you know, their talent. And Wilson looks a little banged up here. Might have hurt his back a little bit.
Yeah, Wilson is laboring out there as Smiley picks up his second. And Fenlon fouled on the floor. As Northport goes to its bench, Duke Sarnataro comes on, the 6-foot senior. One of those 8 senior captains. Fenlon from 3, book it.
Fenlon feeling it, a little 5-0 run here, JP. Big 3. The crowd's on their feet.
I think it just goes to show that you can never count Northport out. Wilson, couple of whistles, and a travel. Northport starting to put it together. Here's Cipollino. Nice find underneath. 7 straight points for Brendan Fenlon.
What a pass, JP. Beautiful find. Gets by the defense, drops it off to the big. 7 straight.
Wilson over Sarnataro. Cash.
What a shot. Man, did Wilson need that.
Yeah, don't count out Wilson. They'll drop it in your face as Bayshore calls a quick timeout. And you know, it's been a long time since Bayshore has won a Long Island championship. The last time they won was 1981. And let's take a look at the last time that the Marauders were on top of the Long Island Pantheon. Price of gas, $1.35. That one hurts right there.
That's killing me, JP.
Ordinary People, I saw it on a flight. I thought it was a good movie. The name can't escape me now, but the therapist in that movie was fantastic. Obviously, Donald Sutherland, Mary Tyler Moore, and Timothy Hutton. By the way, in this picture, Mary Tyler Moore might have more emotion in the poster than she did the entire movie, but she was great. And the top Billboard song, Miss You Tonight by Kim Carnes. Any recommendations or thoughts on that?
Man, JP, I think you nailed it. I got nothing with these. My Lord. I mean, I can't get over the $1.35 gas price.
That was, and I believe that was after, the rationing and the long lines and all of that. And, I'm trying to think because 1980 was when Team USA beat the Soviets in hockey and Miracle and what many can say is probably the best sports movie, but the worst movie itself of all time. And I thought it was fantastic, but that just goes to show my taste. I know you're an Air Bud guy.
Air Bud, I love it. Oh, my goodness.
Meanwhile, Brian, Northport starting to fight their way back. Bayshore holding on to a 5-point lead. And as here's Boylan, he'll hand it off. Sarnataro in front of his own bench, can't sink the 3.
Tough shot there, JP. You know, I really would have liked to see an inside touch for 21 there. Fenlon's been great, taking advantage. I would have really liked to see an inside post touch for him.
And this is what makes Northport so good. They've got depth, and they've got guys that can take over in spurts. Fenlon, the latest example.
Yeah, it's nice to see, and Coach DeLoya is so fired up. He sees how close these guys are. He wants it. But yeah, little spurt of JoJo, Owen hitting some threes, and now Fenlon taking over. It's a nice balance to see.
Here's Wilson, the safety valve. Cuts up and under, short. Battle for the rebound. And there's Fenlon.
Beautiful move, but just nowhere near the finish. Use the backboard, young man.
Sarnataro, and Duke puts it in. Don't look now, Brian. It's a 3-point game.
Got to get it to Smiley here.
The answer back in the foul. That'll go against Fenlon. His first demerit of the third quarter.
I'm actually shocked to see Northport really playing at this pace, JP. They're almost outdoing Bayshore right now.
It's 3 personals on Fenlon. And Northport's third of the quarter. As Owen Boylan and his 3 fouls come, as Will Meyer comes in with 3 fouls himself.
Yeah, Boylan may just need a breather, get his head right.
Fenlon cruises across the timeline. Fresh off the bench, it's a 3. Meyer can't connect. Fenlon, the offensive board. Up and under over Smiley, stripped, but a whistle and a foul.
Is that on Smiley, JP?
Not on Smiley. Let's take another look, Brian. Gotta love the tenacity here. That's going to go against Broomfield, and Kamari's first. Team's third of the quarter. Cipollino, the reverse. A little too much English.
Oh, they gave that to Bumpers, actually, JP.
You're right. And Bumpers, jostling his way inside, picks up his first foul and gets the hoop as well. And Bumpers now with 7 points.
I'd like to see a nice set from Northport, maybe get JoJo a nice look, maybe a little isolation play with one of the bigs up top. But yeah, he's the guy I want taking the shot right here.
Fenlon picks up his dribble. Cipollino, Broomfield with active hands. Driving baseline, 8 to shoot. There's Meyer, a little kiss off the window and in.
Another possession, they killed a bunch of clock too, JP. Got all the way down to 8 seconds again.
Meyer, the 3-year varsity player. Pull up, Bumpers, 3, air ball. And a good box out gives possession to Northport. This place has been jumping since about 6:30 so far, Brian. It's been fun.
Yeah, we got a little mini wide out. I mean, a couple guys might have missed the memo, but, this crowd has been great all game.
Well, you're a coach, and you've been in schools. Have you ever been able to get a group of kids to do one thing? No,
not at all. I mean, even when we were the best team in the league and we had kids, throwing down crazy dunks, it was hard to get kids to games. It's especially, being a Catholic school, but Northport always has a great environment. Their kids are always around, and they always bring a lot of passion.
I just meant even a simple thing of, hey, we're all going to wear white today. Meyer, a 3. Off the front rim, long rebound. Fenlon tips it over, and this should be Bayshore ball. The Marauders take over.
Yeah, I thought that was a correct call. Cipollino not happy with it, but I thought that was the right call.
Three-and-a-half-second differential between game and shot clock, and Wilson being told by Kenny Parham, let's start the offense. Broomfield, the fall away, in and out.
Such a difficult shot, JP. I mean, fading away. Just the shot selection from Bayshore has not been good this quarter.
15 seconds to play, and Northport calls a quick timeout. As Andrew DeLoya will talk it over with his team. And for Northport, it's been a while since they won by their standards, of course, and the last time that they won a Long Island championship 2013. And this seems a little bit.
At least we were alive for this one, JP.
Your thoughts on Argo?
Argo, definitely solid. I liked it.
Solid?
Yeah,
it's the best movie ever.
Best movie ever. That's bold. I mean, Goodfellas is out there, JP.
Look at. All right. Don't let me get on my shine box here, but it's not just Affleck and Cranston, Arkin and Goodman. Just an unbelievable cast there. When they get them out, the scene at the airport waiting for approval.
Phenomenal.
It's great.
It's, and a lot of people I know are like you. They really love it. I've always liked it. I feel like it almost gets better every time I watch it, which is, one of those movies you like to see. But the best of all time, JP, I'm learning a lot about you tonight.
Oh, we got some trade secrets in there as Andrew DeLoya calling a play with 14.5 seconds to go in the third. Another underrated movie, War Dogs. Jonah Hill, Miles Teller. Check it out. Liam Seavey, the inbounder. 47-43 Bayshore. Under 15 to play in the third quarter. As Northport tries to make this a one-possession game going into the fourth. Cipollino. The kick out. Fenlon with some space. Off the mark. Smiley at the horn. Good if it goes. And off to the left. Well, Northport got a good look. Couldn't sink it. And we go to the fourth quarter with Bayshore leading 47-43 over Northport. Don't touch that dial. Got a fun one coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey, it's Isaiah Hartenstein. You're watching Varsity Media.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back here at Northport High School, Bayshore with a 47-43 lead. On the road, looking for their 14th win of the year and improve to 10-0 in league play and continue this undefeated run. He's Brian Reichert. I'm John Perez. It's been a fun one, Brian. And, Northport, every time that it seems like they hit the mat, they get up off the canvas and fight back.
Yeah, I mean, Fenlon with a monster quarter. Cipollino and Boylan struggle a little bit, but Tigers are just too tough, spreading the ball around, and Fenlon with a monster quarter. And they're not going away, JP. We definitely got a great one.
Fenlon with 7 points in the third quarter. As Boylan, the handoff to Meyer. Tees up a three and knocks it in. As Northport throws the first haymaker of the fourth.
Beautifully designed play by Coach Saloya. He definitely was feeling that one. He was celebrating the three before it even went in.
Go off the screen. Here's Broomfield. Gives it off. Three from the wing, doesn't fall. As that was Kingsley Rogers, the 5'11 freshman, making his first appearance of the ball game. Wilson goes to the deck with Seavey. Little one-on-one crime there. Now here's Cipollino. And he'll pull it back out, set up a play.
Smart decision by Sip there. Getting a little crazy. Nice to see him pull it out there. It's a little senior leadership.
Boylan, the handoff. Cipollino lets it fly. In and out. Northport has not led it all in this game. A foul underneath on Fenlon. That's his fourth.
Looks like Sevy's going to pick up in the full court here.
Well, they've thrown different looks at Wilson, and it's been a lot of fun to watch them defensively, and they've kept Wilson for the most part in check. Only 6 points in the contest.
Yeah, they've made it a chess match, John, and they're really going possession by possession. And Bayshore's been taking some sketchy shots, a lot of deep threes, not really moving the ball a lot. No easy buckets.
And Brian, outside of that one sequence where Bayshore had 6 offensive rebounds, Northport has done a better job in the glass in the last portion of the second half.
Yeah, I completely agree, John. They've been everywhere. They've been down the offensive glass as well, doing a good job. And it's probably because this man right here is back in.
Meyer up and under from the block, draws the foul, will head to the free throw line.
And that's an experienced player against a young sophomore. Just being patient, waiting for a shot, getting him in the air, and drawing the contact.
Meyer, 6'5", senior. Off on the first one.
Tough in and out there. He's got a nice looking stroke, John.
Most of these guys, a very good fundamental team, but misses both free throws.
I'd like to see them lean on Smiley here.
Wilson and Seavey. Off the screen, there is Smiley. Bumpers. Didn't see a lot of Hoffney in the third quarter, but he's on to start the fourth. Wilson, a push-off. As Carter Wilson picks up his third.
Wilson definitely frustrated on that call, especially a couple empty trips, and he scored there too. Got to improve his body language. The whole team could see that.
Northport looking to take the lead for the first time tonight. Cipollino thought about driving baseline, closed off by Wilson. Meyer will get a running start. The dish, Seavey finds its way to Cipollino. Not that time.
Great box out by Bumpers.
How about the outlet? Up ahead. Broomfield, acrobatic shot. That's a charge. Cipollino drawing the charge.
Coach DeLoya fired up, sprinting down the sideline. What a take.
And just a great job. Let's take another look, Brian.
Yeah, Broomfield gets out on the break. Thought he might throw a lob here. Great take by JoJo. Feeder there. Good call.
And that'll fire up any bench.
Well, that's what they do at Northport. Take charges, hit threes, move the ball, play fundamental, like you said. It's a big-time play.
Seavey picks up his dribble. Under 5 to play in regulation. It's a three. Meyer off the mark. And a foul on the floor.
Could be another one on Fenlon there.
No, that's going to go against Bayshore. And that's Wilson. It's his fourth. And you see Wilson, 4 fouls. Trying to stay in this game. Thrown underneath. Denied. Smiley, the follow. And Northport goes in front. It's JoJo Cipollino.
What hustle, attacking the glass. What a move by Fenlon to get Smiley up. Beautiful defense by Smiley, but nobody boxing out.
Wilson can't answer back.
Yeah, Bayshore really playing frustrated, not playing Marauder basketball, just kind of really playing isolation ball. They're the best when they're spreading it out.
Bumpers. Smiley. Wilson off the screen. Penetrates inside, and the Marauders go back in front. And a timeout taken by Bayshore.
I don't know if you noticed the trend, JP. Coach definitely been calling timeout after a bucket. You can tell he likes to set up his defense.
Well, with that said, we talk about the implications here for the standings and where it is, and we'll take one more look in case you've missed it earlier. But for Northport, a win tonight would move them up, and they'd be a game and a half behind Bayshore. And you want to be one of those top 4 seeds when it comes playoff time.
Yeah, and that would completely shake up the whole division if Northport's able to pull off the victory today. I know Comac would appreciate that, and how much more important does it make that Comac-Bayshore matchup coming up?
100%. And let's take a look at the road ahead for Northport, though, after today, regardless of win or loss. They've got their work cut out for them as well.
Yeah, and hopefully they take this momentum. Newfield's a scrappy bunch. Lindenhurst can give you a game, and like we talked about with Comac, they're right at the top, and playing at Comac, always a tough environment. So, and we didn't even talk about Sachem North. Sachem North, has a couple kids too that I like. So definitely not an easy road for Northport. This game is definitely going to be big.
And if you would like Varsity Media to come to your school and put on a sportscast, it's not just basketball season, but let Varsity Media broadcast your game. Contact Varsity Media Sponsors at gmail.com or call 917-470-0864. You mention this ad, you get 25% off the price. .402 to play in regulation. And Bayshore with a 1-point lead on the road, trying to keep this undefeated conquest intact. Cipollino picked up full court by Broomfield. Those two have been going at each other all night.
Oh, some tough defense, especially with 4 fouls all the way out there.
Seavey. Here's Meyer, the drive and the dump off. Fenlon can't knock it in. The tap back doesn't fall for Boylan.
Something I've kind of picked up on a little, JP, is they are really trying to take advantage of that 12-33 matchup. Their big guy against their big guy, they seem to think they have an advantage, and they've been going to him a lot this quarter.
Got a foul on the floor, and that'll be against Mr. Bumpers, his second. And Northport takes over.
I think they actually called that on the big man, JP, and that might be in some serious foul trouble.
You're right, that's going to go against Hoffney, his fourth. Good job out of you. I didn't see the two hands.
Tough turnover there, JP. Tough, easy pickup for Bayshore there.
Wilson floats it to Smiley. Broomfield. Wilson with his eyes on the prize. Offensive foul. Seavey draws another charge, and Wilson's night is done. And so Wilson at the end of the bench will have to take a seat.
I don't know if those feet were there, JP. I don't know about that one.
6 points for Wilson, and I'll have to watch it from the pine.
Definitely a very disappointing night for Wilson. He's been great all season, one of their go-to guys. Definitely a disappointing night.
.245 to play. To the cup, Myers. No, sir, an offensive foul. How about the charges in this game, Brian?
What a take by Christian Smiley, my goodness. Bayshore overextends. They play way too far out with their big guy, and Christian Smiley bails them out.
From Meyer, that's his fourth. Only the second team foul for Northport. Smiley picks up his dribble.
Interesting to see them without Wilson. I haven't seen them play without him yet.
Well, Parham has said that his backcourt, he's got 3 point guards in there, so it's not like you're dropping off a lot, and there's Hoffney underneath as the ball still finds the open man.
Fantastic ball movement there and a nice finish by the big man. Not sure I would pick up full court here, JP.
Meyer, the find underneath, Fenlon, and he gets whacked.
Good sportsmanship by Bumpers picking him up there. Definitely hit him hard. And you see JP Smiley again trying to take a charge on their big.
Well, he was the man of the third quarter, Brendan Fenlon. Chance to make this a 1 point game. He knocks in both of his free throws. The game's not over yet. We don't know who's going to win, Brian, but I could imagine what practice is going to be like tomorrow for Andrew DeLoya, and it's going to be missing open layups and free throws.
Absolutely. I mean, definitely not hit. No one's leaving until they make about 10 in a row.
There's your offensive rebound, a three, we're tied. Who needs free throws?
Wow, unbelievable shot by Owen. Big time three.
Owen Boylan nails the three as Northport has tied it up off the miss.
Great kick out pass. Sevi to him in the corner. Absolutely buries it with confidence. The crowd is roaring right now. You gotta love it.
They've just been waiting to jump all night. And it's shaking on the ground here.
Yeah, timeout by Coach Deloya, get his guys in the right defense. You know, he usually saves his timeouts. This is going to be another chess match the next 2 minutes. We'll see who's able to come on top. This has been an incredible game.
Well, now for Bayshore, I'll ask you on the other end. When it comes to the Bayshore huddle, what is Kenny Parham telling his team, and how do they get back into this one without their starting point guard?
Well, the adjustment I would make is, JP, I would definitely not pick up full court. I would sag back, get back on defense, make these guys grind out a possession. But offensively, they got to take their time. They got to bleed some clock. They got to get the ball to Christian Smiley in a good spot. That's where I would go right here on this possession. And then they got to defend, but they got to get the bucket here first, and it starts with Smiley.
For Bayshore, Smiley will trigger it in as he's got Broomfield, Bumpers, Corey Faines, and Niall Hoffney on the floor with him. Undefeated Bayshore
and
up
they're
against
up
the ropes.
pressing.
Bumpers gets it across the timeline. Double team by Reynolds and Seavey.
That was a good double there. They had him.
This has been the closest game that Bayshore has played this year. Not that time. Hoffney the follow. Long rebound. And a fresh possession for Bayshore. Underneath, Smiley the hop step in the hoop.
Yeah, CV a little too committed to the charge there. I would have rather a contest. You know, Smiley's not falling for that. Too smart of a player. Big bucket.
19 points for Smiley. And Northport will take a timeout as well. And like we mentioned, we've got a fun docket of games coming up on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We'll go chronologically starting Sunday. St. Peter's takes on St. Francis Prep, a battle between two powers in their own diocesan, where St. Peter's in the New York AA, St. Francis Prep, the Brooklyn Queens runner-up, then Farmingdale against Port Washington. We're going to be on the call for that one. That's going to be a fun game. What can the viewers expect that one?
JP, that's one of the best conferences in Nassau. I mean, top to bottom, these two teams, Baldwin, I mean, these guys have been going at it all year, and these are two of the top teams, not only in Nassau, but in Long Island, in my opinion.
Meanwhile, talent-wise, we know what we get out of St. Francis Prep. For St. Raymond, we'll see them for the second time on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Gave Stepanak a scare and a look to knock off the Terriers. And you can follow along on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Well, your thoughts on Carter Wilson-less basketball? Yeah,
it's interesting to see them. You know, Broomfield stepping up. I mean, very difficult shot from the sideline. But once again, Bayshore just getting to that 50-50 ball and getting the guy Smiley involved, and you know he's going to cash in for you guys.
When it comes to Bayshore and what they've just been able to do and their run of dominance, just take another look here, and this is the big stat right here. Outscoring opponents by almost 30 points a game. They're on the ropes, and they only lead by 2.
Yeah, well, you see the game in the 50s, you know, they're scoring 70 points a game, and they're in the 50s. It's exactly the recipe Northport wanted.
JoJo Cipollino. CV to Cipollino. Just over a minute to play in the fourth. The kick out, CV drives past his defender, tries to flip it inside, and turns it over.
Yeah, a little too much passing there. Couple of good opportunities turned down in order of good ball movement, but, you know, a little too late and a bad turnover for the Tigers there.
Quinn Reynolds comes in for Northport. 59.6 seconds to go in the fourth.
Couple of fouls to give too, JP.
Smiley, a walk. Didn't need to foul.
Wow.
You're right, Northport with 2 fouls to give, as they'll bring back in Will Meyer.
Monster turnover there.
Meyer with 4 fouls himself. And thrown into the backcourt, Cipollino. Here's the handoff to Seavey. Meyer underneath. Boylan missed the bunny.
Gotta have that there, JP. Oh, man, now they got a foul.
It was such a good look down low.
Yeah, he almost did a little too much there, JP. Just kind of simply should have went up. And I believe that's what, his fourth foul? Yeah, they got to sub him out.
So he goes to the bench. Duke Sarnataro comes on. Northport has to foul. They've got 3 team fouls. Gets across. Here's the pull-up. Not that time, but Northport can't secure the rebound.
I cannot believe that he just shot the ball, JP. I mean, that is a sophomore mistake right there. You could hear the coaching staff screaming, "What are you doing?"
And Bayshore takes a quick timeout to talk it over, but you're right. That's something you got to tell your sophomore, hey, time and score, time and score.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what we talk about with Carter Wilson-less basketball. You got to throw in some other guys, and a huge mistake. I mean, Northport's trying to get you to, they're almost trying to foul you, and you just throw up a shot. Very, very fortunate to get that loose ball that Tigers just weren't able to secure there.
So just a quick reset. Northport with 3 team fouls, trailing by 2. Will Myers got 4 fouls. Brendan Fenland's got 4 fouls. But you can't really pick your spots.
Boylan might have 4 fouls too, John.
And so with that said, Northport has had their opportunities. They missed layups down low and couldn't secure the rebound, and showing some vulnerability for Bayshore. And Northport, of course, a team that I don't think anybody was counting out, but with just the dominance that Bayshore was playing, especially after these two met earlier in the year, Northport has turned it over and starting to really go into their groove.
Yeah, it's you know, they're hot, and the way that they played these first 3 quarters, you almost think that their play in the fourth quarter almost might have just vaulted them ahead, but just a couple sloppy things, a little inconsistency, and you know, some of their guys disappearing a little bit. But still in this game, they got to foul and hope for a miss here.
Broomfield to fire it in. Flips it to the wing, Hoffney, and there's Smiley, and they immediately foul him. Hoffney might have been the guy that you wanted to foul first for Northport, opted not to. But of course, you're not sending Smiley to the line yet. Next foul will.
Mm-hmm. And that's something they should keep an eye on. If 5 or 33 touches this ball, I'm fouling them immediately.
Smiley's calling for it and gets it his way. And Fenlon applies the tag. And so now Smiley. Window dressing time for Bayshore. They can make this a 2-possession game, as that's the 4th foul on Fenlon. And a 30-second timeout taken by Northport. Talk it over and to ice Smiley.
Yeah, definitely a good timeout here, JP. Set up your offense, and you know, it's kind of a trend that you've been seeing a little bit with different teams and different coaches that you can pick up on. A lot of guys like that inbound and just kind of the chaos to just start going, while some other guys like to, you know, slow it down, call that timeout, kind of set something up. But with this timeout before the free throws, they kind of know what they're doing. They're getting the ball inbounds and going. So, you know, I kind of like that, JP. That's stuff that I would try and do too.
Andrew DeLoya relying on his coaching staff, and one guy in particular, the assistant, Mike Greenblatt, who is right behind him. He's been with the program for 40 years, was an assistant under George Frank, does all the off-season conditioning. There he is sitting down on the left side, but he'll have his fingerprints over the final preparation and in practice. And Brian, regardless of how many makes for Smiley, what do you think DeLoya and the rest of the coaching staff are going to bring up here?
You know, they're going to try and go quick. I think if he makes 1 or 2, they got no problem with scoring a quick 2 and playing defense. But if he makes them both, they may have to look to make a 3.
Short. It'll be a 1-possession game.
Nerves definitely playing a factor. This place is loud.
No timeouts left for Northport. Bayshore has 2. Smiley to make it a 3-point game. He does so.
Very clutch. Big 3.
Here comes Cipollino. 14 seconds and winding down. Northport looking for the tie. Cipollino dangles. Fenlon the pump fake. Pulls it up from 3. Too strong. Tapped around. Bayshore with the rebound. And the Marauders survive. The perfect season stays intact as Bayshore improves to 14-0 with a huge road win over Northport, 54-51.
Yeah, I mean, not the look they wanted. Fenlon tried to get up a little step back 3. He thought he had some room, just not able to convert. What a win for Bayshore. I mean, grinded it out, showing this team could win in a lot of different ways, even without their star point guard.
We'll speak to our player of the game when we return. It's been a fun one, and I'm sure we'll see a lot of smiles in that post-game show. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus, here's the best part. Your ad lives forever on our YouTube page. And with a large on-demand audience, it's a grand slam to advertise with Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
We welcome you back to Northport High School. It is the road team. Bayshore continues their undefeated assault through Suffolk County as the Marauders are 14-0 thanks to this man, Christian Smiley. I have to imagine smiles all around with the W. Christian, how were you guys able to secure this victory, and what did you do well down the stretch?
I feel like down the stretch, like we played good defense and we had to lock in when it was time. Like they went on a little run, but eventually we had to slow the game down and play at our pace.
And listen, Carter Wilson goes down, in foul trouble. He fouls out of the game. You guys got to step up. Talk to us how it was like playing without Carter and kind of having to step up for your team.
Playing without Carter is it's tough because he's not really poised point guard. But we have him on the bench. He's like another coach when he's not in the game. So he just tells us what to do. He's still a playmaker even on and off the court.
This has been your closest game statistically this year. What did you learn about your squad?
We learned that down the stretch, we could depend on everybody. It doesn't matter who. We could play our game any time.
I'm going to ask you to boast about yourself. What was working so well, and how did you find your shot?
I found my shot just around the basket. Offensive boys putting it back up, catching at the box, just putting it up. I couldn't find my shot outside, but it's not always going to be there. Got to do the other stuff.
And then, listen, I've seen a huge step in your game, as you become a senior and a leader. Talk a little bit about your growth on the defensive end, especially being one of the bigger guys on Bayshore, having to protect some of that interior for Bayshore.
Me defensively, I like to take, I like charges. I like charges. It's like a big thing for me. It's something about, when they think they're going to get a basket or something, and me just stepping up, taking a charge, and it's going the other way. It feels like that's more exciting than for a dunk. That's more exciting than a dunk for me. So, yeah. And also, it's just about playing in front of him, playing in front of your guy, not trying to gamble, yeah.
What do you like better, 14-0 or taking a charge?
I like 14-0 better.
Yeah, I think so, too. Christian Smiley, all smiles after this one. Congratulations on the victory. Good luck going forward.
Thank you.
That's Christian Smiley, our player of the game here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And, boy, it's been a fun one. Brian, thank you so much for joining us. And we got to thank our entire crew as well, led by Ben Turchin, our executive producer. Becca Kazak's killing it on the ones and twos. Travis DeLuise and Ron Pierre, our camera operators. For Brian Riker, this is John Perez saying so long from Northport High School. This has been a presentation of Suffolk County boys basketball on the Varsity